Welcome, 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 a beautiful nerd gang. Welcome to another session of Nerd Out with Lee. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a little bit different. Today you guys get to basically pick my next read with me. So let's see. I was a bit undecided on two things. Firstly, do I read something completely new, or do I reread something that I read before and loved so much? So I decided you guys are gonna help me because I'm undecided. And then I also thought, what do I wanna read? Do I wanna read something that will shatter me, Do I wanna read something that will just completely um, shatter me, or do I wanna read something that will inspire me? I mean, it's a new year, we got goals to meet, whatnot. Or are we gonna read something that will transport me to my favorite type of world, fantasy? Or are we gonna read thriller, something that will make me shake, give me some goosebumps? So I was undecided. So I decided to look at what I have in my bookshelf, and I have a lot. I have a lot in my bookshelf. And my favorite thing to spend my money on is books and trips, but books and trips. So now I have books. Like, I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books scattered everywhere. I just have books galore. A lot of books. I have a lot of books here. And you guys are gonna help me pick one. I have a lot of books here. You guys are gonna help me pick one. So let's start. Let's start. The first thing is, let's start with books that I've read and I still put in my 2025 reading list. And the first one, and I think I've read this one a couple of times actually. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. A Thousand Splendid Suns is one of those books that actually does literally tear you apart emotionally. It is one of those books that you cannot read and not have tissues and chocolates next to you. It is just one of those books that will just completely it'll just completely undo you. And let me just give you guys a summary. So the book is about Miriam. Miriam is only 15 years old when she's sent to Kabul to marry Rashid. Nearly 2 decades later, a friendship grows between Miriam and a local teenager, Layla, as strong as the ties between a mother and a daughter. When the Taliban take over, life becomes a desperate struggle against starvation, brutality, fear. Yet love can move a person to act in unexpected ways and lead them to overcome the most daunting obstacles with a startling heroism. Both these ladies go through so much, and I love this one. This is part of my top 5, I think. It probably is part of my top 5 books that are of all time. The My only issue with rereading this is because I don't know if I want to cry. I don't know if I'm mentally okay to be reading this. I think it will just destroy me. So you know what? Let's put it on the side. We might revisit it during the course of this conversation. The second one, The Book Thief. So I actually read, oh my god, guys. Inside here I found what I think is a book divider that probably was a gift from someone. I don't remember who, but it's one of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For I know For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I don't know who gave me this, but man, guys. I'll put it right back here. I'll use it again when I reread this book. But anyway, let me go back to the book. The Book Thief. It's one of my favorite. I think it might be my top 5, top 10. it probably is my part of my top 10. This will also make you cry. This is set in 1939 Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier, and in this book, death is essentially personified. And obviously, death is very very busy because it is what's happening in 1939 Germany. So obviously, you need to be prepared to cry your eyes out. Just it will shatter you, but I think not to this extent. I mean, that's my opinion. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it shatters you to this to a splendid sun. I don't think it shatters you to that level. But these two are amazing. I think definitely my top five might be my top five. I just need to probably revisit it and decide if it's still in my top five, yes or no. But it's definitely my top 10. Definitely my top 10. Then a book that I think I've read so many times. So many times. And I think the first time I read it was like very early high school. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh my god, this is so overrated. I don't care. I don't care that you think it's overrated. I don't think it's overrated. It's one of my favorites. I absolutely love this book. I love it. I love the story. You might tell me that the story is so cliche. I do not care. I do not care. I love the Alchemist. And if you are in a journey in your life, I would say read this. I reread it probably 2 years, 3 years ago. Um, and I think that was like my fifth my fifth time reading it, or whoever knows. But when I read it, I think I was probably 22, 21, 22, 20. I think it was probably what, 21, 22, and a bunch of things had happened in my life. I'm not going to go into it because then everybody's going to cry. But a bunch of things had happened in my life. I had just started working. I was essentially coming into being who I am now. I was in a journey of my own, and some people find this book very spiritual. I think at that point in time when I was rereading it that time, I definitely also found some type of spirituality, like not necessarily within this book, but I was going through something similar. I was in an adventure. um I was in a journey of my own, and I was discovering myself, and I was discovering the world. So it was definitely a good one for me to read at that point in time. And I think right now it might be a good one for me to read right now, because I mean, in my mid 20s now. I'm going to be 26 in August. So you might say I'm in a journey. I'm getting married. I'm not the same person that I was a couple of years back. So maybe I am in a journey. Maybe this one would be a great one to read. I don't know. It's a very quick read. I feel like that last time I read it, it took me like less than 3 days. I guess I enjoyed the story. I can't put it down. And also, it's a very small book. It's very, very small. It's very easy. So this is definitely part of my top five. Definitely part of my top five. I don't care what you have to say. My opinion. Okay, another one that I might reread, Jane Austen. So I put Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice here because, guys, I'm in such a romantic girly era this year. Like maybe it's because I got engaged. I don't know, but I'm in such a romantic girly era. I mean, okay, I'm gonna confess, one of my favorite things about TV right now. Okay, the only thing I watch lately is K dramas. And guys, K dramas have the most beautiful romance stories ever. So right now, I've just been watching and watching and watching and watching K drama and falling in love with like Korean men. But I'm in the mood for romance, so that's why I put Jane Austen here, because why not? So is Jane Austen part of my top 10? I don't think so. I think it was once upon a time. Maybe it's in my top 20, but not top 10. It could be, I don't know. I just have to revisit it. But maybe, I think where I am right now and the mood that I'm in right now, I think I might read Jane Austen. I think I might. I actually think I might. Okay, now moving on. Something I've read, something I absolutely loved, and something that I'm thinking of rereading. What's Lee without fantasy? I am a fantasy nerd, guys. As much I know lately I've been talking about psychological thriller, true crime, like horror movies, scary stuff, but fantasy is everything. Fantasy is all that I am. I thought about rereading Harry Potter, but I was like, not really. I think I'll just have a Harry Potter binging weekend and I just watch it. Like my sister and I did it. We normally used to do it every year where we just binge watch Harry Potter. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe my sister and I will do that. But I also thought about Game of Thrones. I'm probably on like book 5 of Game of Thrones, or I mean not Game of Thrones. You know what I mean, guys? The Song of Ice and Fire. But a Game of Thrones I read. I've read a bunch of them, and I'm obsessed with them, as you know. I was obsessed with the series, as you know. But I don't know. I'll no. So Game of Thrones, no. But I'll probably reread it soon. Who knows? But I thought the Mistborn trilogy, guys. A friend of mine, Blue, actually introduced this book series to me. And I remember we spent hours and hours and hours and hours talking about it, and I was so excited about it and everything. And I listened to one audiobook, the audiobook for book 1. Ugh, it don't come out. I listened to the audiobook for book 1, and I was so obsessed that I immediately bought the whole case, because I mean, if money is not spent on books, then what is it spent on? I don't know. You guys tell me. But so for 1,000 years the ash fell. For 1,000 years the sky slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Every attempted revolt has failed miserably, yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine. Guys, if you want to escape into a world and be so entrapped by that world, I would say come on. I would say come on. Like, I think I'm very excited about rereading this one, because I just know that I will literally just fall deep into that universe, and I will feel so alive within that universe. I mean, you have powers, you have mystery, you have all of this. I think by the time I got to book 3, I was so, excuse my big eyes, but guys, I was mind blown. There's just, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys now. Maybe I'll do a recap of the entire series, but whoa. This is one of my favorite fantasy series that I've read in a while. Like, it's one of my favorites. Like it's one of my favorites that I've read in a while, actually. I'm not saying it's my favorite because you guys know Game of Thrones, blah blah. The Wheel of Time is also up there. I've read a bunch of fantasy series. I've can't even name all of them, but the one that I read in the last 5 years, this one is top 10, top 2, top 3. I don't know, guys, but it's there. It's there. Okay, now we've gone through all the books that I've read and I want to reread. Now let's go through new books. New books that were in my bookshelf that I probably got. I don't know when. I probably got them while I was I like going to antique bookshops, so I probably picked it up there, or I got it as a gift from somebody. I don't remember, but I have so many of these, but I picked these three. I picked these three. Let's see. So the first one, The Watches. It's not The Watches, it just says Watches. There's a series of the same similar name that I watched. It's a very short series. It was Watch it, it's amazing. um the Watches. In a society where people are illegal, is anyone beyond hope? Okay, let's see what this one is all about. So this one says, what would it be like to live in a society where people were illegal, where you are scared to get it wrong, frightened of doing something that someone isn't going to like, something that will result in your suddenly becoming illegal, unclean, no status, denied the right to life, or dumped in a wilderness of lawless disorder where an ever present threat can take you out at any moment? What if someone were to offer you hope in that situation? And what if your biggest enemy took up that offer? I'm not sold. I feel like I there was a time where I was all about dystopian novels, and I don't know if I'm in that era right now. I don't know. I'll probably read it sometime in the year once I've gone through enough books, but I think we can put this one on the side. Okay? Then the next one, The Other People. The Other People. I like the name. Let's see what this one is all about. Driving home one night, Gabe sees a little girl's face in the rear window of the car ahead. She mouths one word, Daddy. It's his 5-year-old daughter, Izzy. He never sees her again. 3 years later, Gabe travels up and down the motorway searching for the car that took his daughter. Fran and her daughter Alice also drive the motorway, not searching, but running, hiding from the people who want to hurt them, because Fran knows the truth. She knows what happened to Gabe's daughter and who is responsible. And she knows that they will do what they will do when they catch her and Alice. Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. And there's a quote here. There's, well, a recommendation at the top. It says, if you like my stuff, you love this. Stephen King. Of course, guys, of course. Okay, my only downside is I wanted something that will not be that heavy on me, and if there's any mentions of children getting harmed, I don't know. I can definitely read it, but I don't know if I'm in that headspace to be. I think it will just depress me. Um, so that's my one thing, but I think this one is probably topic. If we're going to go with something new, this is probably topic right now. Yeah. And so now, last but not least, The Cross. Oh, Cross, not The Cross. I like the cover. I like the cover. It says it's by Ken Bruin, Ireland's best-selling crime writer. So interesting. So if you like true crime, probably this one is for you. It says cross, and it says deliver us from evil. It's giving Annabelle. It's giving Conjuring. It's giving, I don't know what it's giving, but I'm excited about this one. Let's hear. Ooh, guys, look, it says let us pray, and it's like pray, not like it's PREY, pray as in a pray, but it says let us pray. It's I think they have me. I think they have me. I think this. Okay. Let me not jump into conclusions. A boy has been crucified in Galloway City. Crucified, a boy. People are shocked. the Irish church is scandalized. No further action is taken. When the sister of the murdered boy is burnt alive, when the sister of the murdered boy is burnt alive, P.I. Jake Taylor decides to take matters into his own hands. Taylor's investigations take him to some old city haunts where he encounters ghosts, living and dead. Well, if you're gonna promise us ghosts, you better deliver ghosts, okay? Living and dead. Um, but what he eventually finds is even his darkest imaginings. Cross is a terrifying, uncompromising road trip to hell and back. Do not expect to put it down unscattered. Ding, 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 ding. I think we have a winner. I thought this was gonna be it. I thought the other people was gonna be it, but I think Cross just the cover alone. The cover alone has me like I don't know. It has me shivering. So I think I'm gonna go with the Cross. What do you guys think? The other people is interesting. I mean, Stephen King himself says you will love this, but the cross captured my soul, and I want to be unscattered. I do. It's crazy. I said I don't want to cry. Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to cry. The difference between this and this is way too close to home. Not by that I'm not saying I 100% relate with them because of, I mean, geographically where they are, where Miriam and Layla are geographically is so different from where I am, where I was raised. um there are a lot of freedoms afforded to me that they are not afforded to, but I mean, it's so close to home because it is inhumanity being perpetrated upon my gender, my upon anyone at all. Like, but it's so much worse what these ladies go through, and I don't want to. It's real. It's too real. It's too real, especially in the current global economy, the global political landscape that we are in. There's a lot of undertones of it, and I mean, what they experience is happening today. It is. So that is too real for me. I don't want to cry that much, but I think this can unscatter me. I'm okay with this one shattering me. So I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with the Cross, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm gonna go with the Cross, and then I'll do a review and a rant about it, and then after that maybe we'll look at the other people and do a review and rant about it. And if I feel emotionally and mentally okay, then we can go here. And maybe before that, while I'm still dealing with the world, I can go Jane Austen, because then I can just be romantic. But yeah, that's it for me. This was very nice. I think we should do this more often, don't you guys think? Maybe next time we should do it over some coffee, over some ice cream, over some cake. I had snacks, but I forgot about them because this was so interesting. That's it for me. Catch me another time. Love you all.